Also, North Korea is making new demands on the United States. Brian Todd is here in the Situation Room. He's digging into the late-breaking developments. What are you learning, Brian?
Wolf, once again, Kim Jong-un tonight is showing his swagger. Even with U.S.-led sanctions putting enormous pressure on his regime, the dictator is telling the U.S. it has to return a sanctions-busting cargo vessel. And he's put other brazen requests on the table. With his dialogue with President Trump over nuclear weapons all but stalled, North Korea's aggressive young leader is again issuing ultimatums. Tonight, Kim Jong-un's foreign ministry is demanding that America return a North Korean cargo ship, which the U.S. seized last week and took to American Samoa. The North Koreans call the seizure a violent violation of international law, which breaks the spirit of what Kim and President Trump negotiated in Singapore last year. And Pyongyang says the regime will, quote, keep a sharp eye out to see how America responds.
As with any criminal family, the issue is always going to be, what did you do that was wrong? Now, what did I do that was wrong?
The ship in question, ironically named the Wise Honest, was dubbed a sanctions buster by a top U.S. law enforcement official on Thursday. It was first intercepted by Indonesia's Navy last year. U.S. officials say it was illegally shipping coal out of North Korea and heavy machinery into the country because the dictator is getting more desperate for cash.
He's made a lot of promises. He's building theme parks. He's importing more luxury vehicles in contravention of the sanctions. They've had a track record in the case of Syria in the middle of the last decade of being willing to sell a nuclear weapons program to a state-sponsored terrorism. It's something that's, I think, keeping people up at night.
How desperate is Kim's economy? North Korea's trade with China has taken a nosedive in the last year, official figures show, leaving the regime to turn to dangerous smuggling operations like ship-to-ship transfers on the high seas. Seeking the return of the cargo ship is not the only way Kim's regime has tried to pressure the Trump administration. According to a recent report by ABC, Kim Jong-un requested that the U.S. send famous basketball players to North Korea as a way to normalize relations. ABC, citing U.S. officials, says the request was made in writing before the failed summit in Hanoi in February, and that the North Koreans insisted it be included in a joint statement on denuclearization. Former NBA star Dennis Rodman has traveled to North Korea several times on his own, staging exhibition games for the basketball-crazy North Korean leader, presenting Kim with samples of Rodman's brand of vodka, even once serenading the dictator.
Happy birthday to you.
One analyst says basketball diplomacy could work to soften tensions, but hopes shouldn't be raised too high.
The issue here is going to be if we go in with expectations that somehow this opens the door to denuclearization, greater fools we. The North Koreans are not going to denuclearize because you got, LeBron James to come and play.
Analysts are now worried that we may be at a point where Kim Jong-un is so desperate to get President Trump's personal attention again, so keen to get back to those face-to-face meetings, that Kim may ratchet up the tension even to more dangerous levels than we've seen in the past couple of weeks, that we could soon see a long-range missile or a nuclear bomb test. Wolf?
That would be pretty scary.